Gracious God, thank you for the gift of music, how it inspires, how it fills, how it stirs our souls. Thank you for Shelbie and Angus for letting music move us so beautifully. Bless them in their retirement as they have blessed us so much. In your son's name we pray. Amen. In a few minutes, I'm going to give you all an opportunity, if you'd like, to come up here to say a few words. You do not have to, but you will have to keep your words short and brief. We also have a couple of presentations that will happen, but before we get into that, I want to share with you all a little bit of the history. If you were on Shelbie's, I guess for lack of a better word, call committee, if you're here, would you please stand up if you're a part of it? Colin, I see Jason's there, Beth, back over there. I know that Sally's not able to be here, Sigrid and Jordan are also on that committee as well. We had a great time when we were studying all these different organists and musicians that came in. And in fact, I still remember the metrics that you set up for us, Jason. It was beautiful. And we studied a lot of different people, but there was one person out of all of the people that we researched and sought after and looked for. And honestly, it's whenever Shelbie's name came up that she said that she was passionate about bells, I knew that nobody else was going to matter. And I saw Jason's eyes light up. And then when we heard Shelbie play, we were like, hands down, every single person in there unanimously was like, that's our person. At the time, Pastor Dawn and I were together as co-pastors here at Dividing Presence. This was 10 years ago, y'all. And Shelbie came down to play, and then when we offered her the job, she came down to sit with Pastor Dawn and I, and we went down to John the Greek, right? And we were having some Greek food, and she looked at both Pastor Dawn and I and said, I'm okay to come, but you all can't leave. And I want you to know, I did it! I sang. And we had Pastor Dawn was here for another few years before her retirement, and Shelbie, what you have offered us is vast and amazing and wonderful. We started off with just a few choirs. We had a chairs choir, there was a women's choir, a men's group was singing probably at the time. We had a couple of smaller kids groups that were going on. But what Shelbie was able to bring to the table with her amazing gifts was an instrument ensemble that we heard today. She looked at me about 4 years ago and said, hey, we have an awful lot of people that play instruments. You're going to lead an instrument ensemble. And I said, okay. About 7 years ago, she looked at me and says, hey, there's a whole bunch of people that play guitar. Put together a worship band. And I said, okay. And we put together a worship band. And we're still going with all these different groups. We have a men's group that is now flourishing. So there's a lot of different things that she's brought to the table. Not to mention the organ and how well she plays it. And if you've ever gotten a chance to watch her with her feet, it is phenomenal to listen to her play. I've always said this about Shelbie, and I mean this with the bottom of my heart. I think that I'm a musician that became a theologian. Shelbie is a theologian that is a musician. People come out of church and they will say, man, the music just really matched the message. And I always want to be like, yeah, you're welcome. But the truth of the matter, I've heard Shelbie preach, I've listened to her give devotions, I've sat with her, we've talked about things theologically, and she is a very faithful, spiritual, grounded person in theology. And what she brings to the table is translated from the pages of Scripture into the music. And it is beautiful what she's able to do with that. And it has gifted this congregation for the past 10 years in more ways than we can even count. And I'm very, very grateful for her partnership and ministry, for her support of letting me wave my hand around and frankly try to direct different groups and live into my passion of music as well. And then all of a sudden we found ourselves at a point in time where we needed to either hire another musician to play the organ or piano, or we needed to find somebody that was going to direct the choir. And I was like, there's no way, and I'm a musician, there's no way I would want anybody coming in and to direct my choir that I put so much hard work into. And Shelbie comes to my office and says, hey, I have an idea. And I listen, and she says, I want to hire Angus McLeod to be our choir director. And I was like, you're crazy. How is this even going to work? You're the choir director. She says, no, it's okay. Which also tells you a little bit about her leadership style. Shelbie is the type of leader that will look at you and say, this is your job. And you'll say yes. And then she takes her hands off and she says, do it! And then we go and take care of it and make it happen. She doesn't say it like that, but she's so gracious to allow people to share their leadership and their style and their craft and let them be what they are. Anybody that sat the men's course with me or the instrument ensemble knows that when she sits down at the piano with us, I'll look at her and I'll say, what do you think? And she goes, you're the director. Every single time, she points back to the person in charge. She lifts the people up that are in charge. And it's an amazing gift as a leader to do that. Not every musician is like that. So whenever she brought up the idea of another person coming in to direct the sanctuary choir, I knew she was going to be able to make this happen more than any other musician. She would be able to do that, and she's done so graciously. And Angus came in and started to direct us. And what Shelbie had laid as a foundation, Angus took and shaped and made it just some beautiful ornamentation on top of it. Angus, you've got a style of conducting that makes people want to sing for you. They just desire to make good sounds because you make good sense. You don't talk down to people. You craft your criticisms with flowery language that makes us go, wow, he sounds like crap and he's so nice. What did you say the other night? How was it? The greatest, the most criticism. What was it? Oh man, you said something about like the main critique I'd like to share with you. I mean, he only shared one, but we all knew there was probably 10 more. But he was gracious about just saying the main critique. The way that you can go, you can feel the music coming through your hands. You can feel the music coming through your eyes, through your body. You can tell that it touches you deeply. So much so that when we've been practicing as of late, I know we all are wanting to sing better and more in touch with what you're asking us to do. So much so that you've even noticed after a few years of doing this, that when we go back to a piece that we've done before, what you have taught us years past, all of a sudden comes out, the swell happens, the phrasing happens, because it's now ingrained in us, because it's been so graciously passed to us. Your style is just so touching, and it's an absolute gift. And the biggest problem I have is that now we have to replace both. The main problem I have is that now you both are retiring and we have to replace two profound, amazing musicians, leaders, directors, stewards, theologians, who have been just an amazing gift. And I'm really sad that you're both retiring, to be told, but I'm so honored that I've got to work with you. I'm so honored. And so, if you will all join me, please, to share our appreciation to Shelbie. And I think that Shelbie would like to say something. So, and then afterwards, we're going to open it up. I know we have some presentations to share, and other people that want to share some more. So, Shelbie.
Thank you so much. I just want to say a couple of words. First of all, and before I took this job, yes, I did meet with Pastor Steve and Pastor Dawn, and they were so awesome. But I made a checklist before I came down here to come Plano. And one of the biggest things about this church that I love, not only are there so many smart, caring people here, but this is a family church. And I saw parents, grandparents, and children offering music to the Lord. And I thought, you know what? You've been doing this for a long time, and after I leave, you'll keep doing it. The kids are going to carry it on for us. And that was probably the big thing for me. Also, though, the staff, Pastor Steve and Dawn and Pastor Heather, the pastors have been great, but also Mike and Sue's in the room somewhere, aren't you? And you have staff, and I've just been blessed, and Crystal's here. All the staff have been wonderful to work with, absolutely. And finally, I just want to say that I know that you all love the music that open ones.
I guess you want to say something?
I just want to be sure that you all aren't riding her coattails. This event should really be about Shelbie for the years of service that she's had. I just came in at the end with her gracious allowance, but it's really a day that should be celebrating this person and her entire career, not just here at this church, but at the churches, at public schools. She is the person that needs to focus. And I appreciate you all showing appreciation for these. When you take church positions, it's important to realize what you are taking it for. For choir directors, sometimes early in our career, we think it's about what's the next job. It helps do this, it helps do this. For me, my first choir job led me to my wife, Gwen. And I was a choir director, and she happened to come to a meeting, and as a result, she thought I was the janitor because I opened the building. But as we grew to know each other very quickly, then I realized that's why God sent me to that church. I hope the church did fine, regardless. But I realized later that that was God's hand in my life to find someone that I would be with. So that was a blessing from God through a church choir. Then, after retiring from public school, only 45 years of teaching, things happened here, even though we were members and have been members for many, many years, that Shelbie allowed not the replacement. Shelbie didn't step back either in my mind. Shelbie stepped to the side. And I've always felt that she was by my side in the years that I've had the pleasure of doing what I've done. I've never felt, Steve's so right, she's never trying to tell me what to do with the choir. That's so rare among choir directors. Because they just are choir directors. But for me, it's been an incredible blessing and amazing opportunity to see someone with the detail and the knowledge that she has brought to your church, our church. It's remarkable. Very few churches have this regardless of size. And the last thing is that working with the sanctuary choir, we think that I'm giving something to them. I hope goodness that I am. But what we realize as you get older in life is the blessing is coming back. And just like teaching as kids, that's a blessing from both young people to those of us who are old. And this congregation and the choir specifically has given back to me much, much more than I ever received. And so for me, these last few Sundays, I'm thinking, where would anyone else want to be but in front of a group of directors? It's a magical place, and this is a magical place. Thank you very much.
So at this time, I'd like to invite Shelbie and Angus to come over by the cakes so we can take a picture of them with you all. So before we cut into them and start eating cake, because y'all need to eat the cake. So we'll take a picture of them there. And while they're doing it, John's going to take a picture for you. So John, tell them where to stand. And then I know that we have some presentations to be made. So looking around and looking at it. Yes. Teresa.
Are we supposed to do the
All right, they're cutting into the cake.
Do you have to keep each other's lunch?
No, we're not.
I don't think we need to do anything.
This is chopped.
All right, so they're getting their first piece of cake there, and the cake's gonna be cut up and start to serve. So you guys, please feel free, as you want, to go and get a piece of cake. If you have little ones, congratulations! It's gonna be a sugary Sunday. And Shelbie and Angus, I want to invite you guys to get your cake and draw out your spots. There is chocolate cake, there is vanilla cake. Okay, so there's two different kinds. And they may be putting them on plates and slipping them around tables as well. And then I'm going to invite our coaches to come forward here because they have prepared something for both of you, Shelbie and Angus. This is show appreciation for the ministry and on this, the coaches invited partners that made you each a quilt.
Oh, wow.
Aren't those beautiful? Oh my goodness. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, quilters. Wow. You don't see those in the pew backs, man. Those are nice. And then, all right. And then turn it over to Amy Guajardo, our worship art music ministry action team leader.
Good morning, everyone. Angus, if you would come forward with So I did have to write mine out. I am not one that can talk off the cuff very easily. I lose my thoughts, and definitely I wanted to compile everything to express on behalf of the Sanctuary Choir what we have acquired from Angus. So I have a few words for you about your incredible journey with us. So as we reflect on the time we spent together, there's one word that keeps coming up: positivity. From the very first rehearsal, Angus made it clear that we were all capable of greatness. Angus he always told us we were great, that he loved working with us, and that he was so grateful for our voices. And it wasn't just words. It was in his actions, in the energy he brought to each practice, and in the way he inspired us to give our best as we sang praises to God. Angus has been a true gift to all of us. When we think about the many students he has mentored over the years, we can't help but imagine how lucky those high schoolers were to have such a dedicated teacher. He knows how to build confidence in others, and I know we all felt that impact in our choir. He has the rare ability to make every moment a teachable one, no matter the situation. Now, Angus is not someone that you can easily categorize. If you look at him, you see a jolly Scotsman with a broad smile and an infectious laugh. He has a way of drawing you in with his warm and welcoming nature. But once you get to know him, you realize there is so much more and many more layers to this man. He is quick-witted, honest, and never pretentious. Pick any topic, and before you know it, you're listening to a story packed with wisdom and insight. And when it comes to music, oh, we all know what a consummate artist he is. He taught us that music is never static, it must always move. He pushes us to reach for something higher with every note and every phrase. And as he taught, there was no arrogance, just pure dedication to the craft. He would draw us in with a story from his years in public education or his time as a musician, all while teaching us how to feel the music. One of his favorite words, of course, was teaching us about hemiolas. Absolutely. And you can always count on him to make sure we feel it. You had to enjoy the hemiola. And let us not forget our choir retreats. Mo Ranch, of course. What an unforgettable experience. From the warm-ups to the stories, every part of that weekend was full of laughter, learning, and growth. We not only learned more than just singing, we learned how to work together as a community, just as he had done for so many years. One of the things we will miss most is how Angus always made us feel special. After each service, he would thank us for our anthem with such genuine appreciation. He had this unique way of making each rehearsal feel meaningful, always showing us how much he valued our contribution. He turned every moment into a celebration of music and fellowship. And let's not forget the humor, especially when he'd stop and focus on a particular section of music. Angus would often say, "Okay, one more time, Scout's honor." And then we'd stop again. And we learned a wonderful way of, when people upset us, how to curse at them choir style. Everybody ready? Hotu latte rameni. His humor and lightheartedness were always there to remind us that learning and improving could be fun, even when we had to go over some things multiple times. Angus, you are a rare and precious gem. Your dedication to music, to teaching, to each one of us has shaped this choir in ways we can't fully express. But above all, what we will remember most is your heart. Your heart in God, for your family, and for all of us. You have truly given us the gift of yourself, and for that, we are forever grateful. As you and Gwen enter this well-deserved retirement, we look forward to seeing you both singing together in the pews on Sunday. Know that you will always have a place in our hearts and at this church. Thank you for everything. We love you, and God bless. And on behalf of the choir, since Angus previously retired during COVID, he missed out on a particular retirement gift. So we have a watch for you.
All right, we have one more presentation.
Good morning. I did not realize I'd be up here speaking. I was just going to leave the gift in the basket, so mine will be a bit shorter. My name is Susan Wright. I'm position 1 on the bells. I used to be down in bass clef, which I really enjoyed, but position 1's not so bad either. You have to understand, I'm glad Shelbie's passion was bells because we gave her a lot of challenges. We are one deep. There's not 3 or 4 of each position. We are one deep. And some of those people that joined us over the years didn't know how to read music, had never played an instrument, and then there were others who were quite familiar, that had been there a long time. So she had a wide range of abilities that she had to deal with. And, you know, the other bell members, there's only 10 of us. would help the person, cue them in, tell them what measure we were on. Of course, that happens to those of us that are experienced too, what measure, because we get lost. So we have enjoyed every week, and we do come on Thursday evenings. We're not the big Wednesday crowd, we're the Thursday group. But we get there and we practice through the songs. She'll have a sight read, and then we'll practice and then play over more difficult parts. And her famous line, I think my group would agree, is, "Okay, we're gonna play till the end." And we go, "Yeah, bet on it." It always gets stopped. We never play to the end until we're late at the end. Too bad we can't get that for you. We're gonna play to the end, and then we're gonna stop you from retiring. At the other little function we had for Shelbie, we gave her a more personalized gift. Actually, it was in the genre of a barn quilt, and it had a cross, a keyboard, musical notes, and a hand guide. And there's only one of it in the world. So she received that very heartfelt, plus a card that had all of her comments. This is a more traditional retirement gift, and she can open it at the table because it will break if you drop it. And then she can hold it up and show everybody. But it does come with very heartfelt emotion from all of us. And even though there's only 10 of us, I know the entire congregation, they say they enjoy our music. Thank you. So I know it's coming from the entire congregation.
So she's going to be opening that up, and so I'd like to invite Pastor Heather, and then she will invite other people to come forward to speak if you so choose. And remember, Pastor Heather can talk for as long as she wants. And then whenever we come up, let's make sure that we keep them short so everybody has a chance if they want to share some words, okay?
Well, I'm probably one of the newest people here that's gotten to appreciate Angus and Shelbie's music. But I have to say, sometimes I wonder if I chose the wrong profession because of my deep love for music. And that started in the church. I grew up in a church very similar to Abiding Presence, and the choir director invited me at a very young age to participate in the adult choir at 7th grade. And much like what Angus has done with some of our kids too. And I developed a deep love, and then that choir director ended up teaching my son how to sing as well. And so churches are a place where music is just so important, and I feel like that's what we've had here at Abiding Presence. I got to grow up in that. I went to college in a similar place, and now I'm pastor here, and I can't tell you how delighted I was to come and find a place where the organ was played on Sundays with such majesty, and we had brass coming in, and we had a choir director. I've known Angus for actually quite some time. I won't tell you how, that's a whole other story. But it's been so wonderful to work with him, and so wonderful to have Shelbie in our lives. I often don't look at the hymn of the day before I preach, just because I like to have God speak on what needs to be spoken that weekend. And the number of times, as Pastor Steve said, where I finish and I go to sit down and I think, wow, this is the congregation's response to what was just said, and it's always spot on, and that is all Shelbie, and it's wonderful. So it's been a blessing to me to be here with you guys. I'm sad that it's only been a short few years for me. I would have loved to have been here longer with you, but I look forward to seeing you here and there and experiencing your music at other times. And so at this time, I'd like to invite anyone else who wants to come up and speak.
I'm recording.
I'm gonna make this quick. I've only been here a year, and one of the things I've really enjoyed is music. Especially seeing in the back in the sound booth people watch along with paying attention and recording. But to see the joy that the music gives the entire congregation is fabulous. And we're talking small kids on up. It affects everybody. And so the music that you guys have picked, as Steve and Pastor Heather have said, it makes a difference to people. And coming from a different background, different church, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful to work with both of you. And you've taught me so much because I don't have a music background. So I've been asking them questions. So it has helped me a lot. So thank you. Enjoy your retirement. Go travel, have fun, enjoy the grandkids.
Anybody else like to say a few words? Mike.
I just wanted to say it's been an honor working with Shelbie all these years. I've been blessed to be able to do multiple vacation Bible schools and music camps and different things with Shelbie, and just seeing how she is with the youth and the young ones is great, and she brings that joy of music everywhere she goes. And I just remember from Vacation Bible School a few years ago, I was in there, we were trying to read something, and I had the guitar, and we were singing stuff, and a little guy comes up and says, "What are we singing next?" And I was like, "I'm really gonna go ask Miss Shelbie." And he was like, "We get to sing with Miss Shelbie too?" And so that always kind of stuck in my head of how, the kids really look forward to spending time with Shelbie, and again, it's been a blessing.
I just want to say thank you to Shelbie and Angus. You two by far, my mom and I have talked about this, you two by far have been the best music directors that we have ever had in our lives. And you brought out the best to my mom, you brought out the best to me, and Shelbie has brought out the best to my niece Izzy, who loves you a lot. So we just wanted to say thank you for having me.
Anybody else? Mike, I could have sworn you were going to talk about when we did our staff outings. Shelby's a neat pickleball player. And she really loves escape rooms. No, she doesn't. Oh, she can throw an axe though, that's true. Would anybody else like to say a few words? All right, so this whole group right here, Sue, come on. All right, so just so we're all clear, it's retirement. Okay, so they're going to show up at church. So they're going to be around. It's okay. You guys come back, hang out with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. And Shelbie may eventually come back and even play a little bit every once in a while. It's not foreign. That type of thing's not foreign. But they are stopping this work that they are doing. And when Shelbie announced to us that this was the plan, Angus says, "I'm going to join us." That way, it's very gracious. The congregation is able to call who they need to call to be next. And that process is working right now. But today is a day to celebrate the two of you. Thank you so much. There's plenty of cake. Church starts in 20 minutes. And I expect to see you all at December 15th's concert as we have a great time with Shelbie and Angus and all the beautiful music they made. Thank you all for being here today, and give them an extra piece of cake on your way out. Blessings.